Galbrena is one of the most impressive additions to Wuthering waves so far, a fast acrobatic fusion DPS that feels like a mix between Devil May Cry and Bayonetta. Her gameplay is flashy, fluid, and full of energy, making every fight feel cinematic. The attention to detail in her design and animations makes her feel like a true masterpiece, and she's easily one of Kuro's best examples of how far the game's combat system can go. If this is what they can do with inspiration alone, it sets high expectations for the upcoming Cyberpunk collaboration. In this guide, we'll break down everything you need to know: how her kit works, her best weapons, echoes, and rotations, and whether her weapons or sequences are worth pulling. By the end, you'll know exactly how to build Galbrena and how to get the most out of her as a fusion carry. Alright, before we jump in, this time you'll actually see me on camera, which honestly feels a bit strange. I've always been more of a low-key person, but I figured out it's time to step out of my comfort zone and take things to the next level. So, at the beginning of the year, I had a goal to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of summer, which I didn't get there. Not because of the algorithm, but because I'm still learning how to stay consistent, to build a routine, and to make my workflow smoother. I've been a graphic designer for years, working on visuals, branding, and storytelling across all kinds of projects. So naturally I care a lot about how each video looks and feels. Sometimes I tend to overthink and spend way too much polishing the details that don't even matter, but I'm still learning to balance that. So lately I've been trying to min-max my workflow like we do in games, so I can focus more on creating and less on over-editing. I'm taking YouTube a lot more serious now. I want to go full-time with it, and I'll even start streaming soon, so probably by the time you watch this video, I might already be live on YouTube and Twitch as well. This whole channel started as a small project to push myself, to grow, to connect, and to share something that I love with you. And even though I missed my first big goal, I still want to aim high. I love to reach 5,000 subscribers by Christmas, and I know it's ambitious, but who knows? So if you enjoyed these breakdowns and want to see how this journey goes, hit a like, drop a comment, and subscribe. Every bit of support generally keeps me going. I'm also trying to give back as much as I can through a small giveaway each patch. Just a little way to thank everyone who's been part of this journey. You can check the pinned comment if you want to join in. So now, let's get back to the video. Galbrena's kit is built around her Fortress circuit split into two parts, Afterflame and Synthflame. The red gauge on her left is Afterflame, and the purple one on the right is Synthflame. Let's start with Afterflame. Each time a teammate uses an echo skill, Galbrena gains 8 points up to 40 total. Each point adds 1.5% more damage while she's in a demon hypostasis, reaching up to 60% when the bar is full. In short, you need 5 echo skill casts to max it out. If your team can't trigger echo skill often, you'll usually reach out only 3 casts, giving about 36 extra damage. To fill it faster, it's best to have Chi-Yuan or Cantarena on your team. Next is Synthflame, the purple bar. She builds it by using her attacks or skills except her Resonance Liberation. Once it's full, her Resonance skill upgrades to Ascent of Malice, letting her enter Demon Hypostasis. In this form, her attacks consume her Forte bar to deal much higher damage, acting as a main burst phase within the rotation. Now, let's talk about her basic attacks. In her normal state, she has 4 hit combo. In demon form, that changes. She starts from the second hit and goes up to a 5th. The first 3 attacks count as heavy attack damage, and the last 2 as echo skill damage. After one full combo, the next chain skips the first hit. She also has a special dodge called Hell Stride. When you dodge mid-combo, it doesn't reset your attack sequence. It keeps going from where you left off. This setup lets her naturally trigger all buffs from her echo set and weapons, so you don't have to worry about timing anything. Under her Fortress circuit bar, there's also a small gauge called Burning Drive. It activates when you use her intro, Resonance skill, the Forte enhanced attack during demon form, or her special dodge. It gives a 20% attack boost for 4 seconds, and you don't need to think much about it since it's active most of the time as a part of a normal rotation. If the buff isn't active, you can easily trigger it by using her special dodge during your attacks. There's also an alphabet indicator near the enemy's HP bar, and when it hits the letter S, Galbrena gets an additional 20% damage buff. So it's best to start your burst when it's at S, but you'll naturally build it during your combo. Finally, her Liberation deals massive damage and applies 85% damage multiplier to all of her attacks while she's in demon form, amplifying every hit that follows. It's best to use right before you start consuming her Fortress circuit to make the most out of her burst phase. Galbrena's kit allows for 4 main rotations, each with different complexity and focus. The first is the standard rotation, simple and ideal for beginners. The second is a slightly modified version that adds a light animation cancelling and better buff management. Then there are 2 advanced rotations, one that focuses on the heavy attack damage and another that centers on her echo skill scaling. The standard rotation is the easiest to learn. You'll start with her intro, then use basic attacks until the purple forte bar is full. One important thing to note is that some players use her Resonance Liberation before the Resonance skill, but that can make you lose the 20% attack boost from the small burning drive gauge under her forte bar, especially if you get hit during the combo. To avoid this and keep the buff active, use her Resonance skill first to enter Demon form and refresh the burning drive buff, then immediately follow with her Resonance Liberation to apply the 85% damage boost. This ensures the buff is active before liberation and increases its damage too. After that, consume the Forte circuit with basic attacks and end with her outro to switch to your sub DPS or support. The adapted rotation builds on that by adding light animation cancelling and better timing to push more damage while keeping the same 12.3 second duration. It's not about making the rotation harder, just using her animation more efficiently. This version boosts her total damage by roughly 10.7% without exceeding the rotation time. Here's what changes. After your intro, use the basic attack 2, go into basic attack 3, which is the breakdance animation, then basic attack 4. On the 4th attack, when she bends and fires with a fit, you can dash cancel the animation right after the hit lands. This cuts the long recovery animation, changes to A the alphabet indicator near the enemy's HP bar, and lets you move straight into the next sequence. Continue attacking until the purple forte bar is full, then use her Resonance skill to enter Demon form, which also changes to S the alphabet indicator and refreshes the burning drive, followed by Resonance Liberation. While in Demon form, the 5th enhanced basic attack is split into 2 parts, the initial hit and then the explosion that follows. As soon as the first hit lands, you can dash cancel the animation. Don't worry, the explosion will still go off even after you cancel, since it continues automatically once the first hit lands. This lets you skip the rest of the long animation while still keeping all the damage. This small change gives you enough time to fit an extra enhanced attack 3 before your Forte circuit runs out. The final hit in this chain, the 3rd enhanced attack, when her wings spread, won't benefit from the Forte buff, but the combo still deals more damage because you fit more hits into the same 12.3 second window. Beyond that, there are also 2 advanced rotations, each focuses on different parts of a kit, one built around heavy attack damage and the other around echo skill damage. Both share the same first phase, where you build her purple Forte bar before entering Demon form, but what changes comes after that. If you are not using a quick swap team, these are the rotations you can follow. Keep in mind, these versions take longer than the previous ones, so you might struggle maintaining certain team buffs. The heavy attack rotation focuses on maximizing her heavy attack multipliers. Once you are in Demon form, you'll mainly use basic attack 2 and basic attack 3 as both count as heavy attack damage. Each heavy attack resets the combo sequence, letting you repeat basic attack 2 and 3 for steady damage. You'll need to practice the heavy attack dash cancel, as the goal is to reset the sequence without actually landing the heavy attack. This way, you won't consume Forte stacks while keeping the loop going. After using basic attack 2 and 3 twice, add basic attack 4 to refresh the buffs from her echo set and signature weapon. Dash cancel this attack right after the animation starts, then follow up with another heavy attack dash cancel. This is the trickiest part of the combo because you need to cancel both animations to keep the buff active while managing your Forte stacks. Once that's done, you do basic attack 2 and 3 again, finish with heavy attack dash cancel, repeat it once more, and then outro to your next unit. In quick swap teams, add a few heavy attack at the end before switching out to build some Forte energy for the next burst. The echo skill rotation focuses on maximizing echo skill damage and is one of the easiest combos to perform. You won't need to do any heavy attack dash cancel here. Start with basic attack 2, then dash cancel it, followed by basic attack 3 and dash cancel again. After that, use basic attack 4 and 5 since both count as echo skill damage. As soon as the first hit from basic attack 5 lands, dash cancel the animation. Once the first sequence finishes, the next one will start automatically from basic attack 3. From there, dash cancel basic 3, then go through basic 4 and 5, cancel after the first hit on 5, and repeat once more. By the end of this cycle, your Forte circuit will be almost empty. As soon as the first hit from basic 5 lands, dash to cancel and the explosion that follows will still go off and consume the Forte circuit. Right before the explosion hits, you have just enough time to start another basic 3 animation before you finish with your outro. In quick swap teams, add few extra heavy attacks at the end to build some Forte energy for the next burst. Both of these combos are designed for specific situation. The heavy attack rotation works best when Galbrena is paired with buffers like Mortefi, Juno or Frolova, who boost heavy attack damage. The echo skill rotation is made to maximize echo skill damage, especially with upcoming units like G1 who directly buff it. Overall, even if you don't want to min-max every detail, I recommend learning the second combo, the adaptation of the standard rotation. It uses light animation cancelling and offers the best balance between simplicity and performance. It keeps the same timing as the standard version, but gives around 10.7% more damage while fitting any team setup you run her in. When it comes to leveling her skills, start by maxing out Forte Circuit and Resonance Liberation, as they are her main source of damage. After that, level up her basic attack since it's the core of her rotation, so level 8 is a good starting point if you want to save materials. Then focus on Resonance skill and intro, as they don't scale much with level and can stay lower to save weekly boss drops. This order gives you the best value while keeping resources cost low. If you want to invest more and want to get every bit of damage from her kit, you can max all her skills, but the top priority should always be her Forte Circuit and Resonance Liberation, followed by basic attack. Let's go over her echo setup. The best combination for Galbrena is 3-piece Flame Wings Shadow with 2-piece Molten Rift or Flaming Claw print. This setup fits her playstyle perfectly and gives the highest fusion damage bonus. You can also use a 3-piece Flame Wings Shadow with the 2-piece Lingering Tunes, which deals almost the same damage as the other two options. The difference is less than 1%, so whichever you choose, the results will be nearly identical. The Flame Wings Shadow set works so well because her attacks constantly alternates between heavy attack and echo skill damage, which makes it very easy to trigger both of the bonuses for this set. For this setup, use Crossaurus as the main echo, as it matches her kit perfectly and helps amplify her overall damage output. Another option is that 5-piece Molten Rift, which gives a flat 40% fusion damage bonus. It also fits well with her rotation since she naturally uses a Resonance skill before activating her Resonance Liberation and using her Forte stacks. For this build, use Nightmare Inferno Rider as the main echo. One drawback of this echo is that you can't use it right at the start of your rotation because its animation takes too long. You'll need to slightly adjust by using the echo skill at the end instead, right before your outro. It's not a perfect match for a kit, but it's the best choice available for this set option. This setup deals about 12% less total damage compared to her best in slot build, but it's still a solid alternative if you don't have other sets fully farmed. Now, for the main stats, on the 4-cast echo, go for crit rate or crit damage depending on your weapon. On the 3-cast echoes, use either 2 fusion damage stats or 1 fusion damage and 1 attack percentage, and for the 1-cast echo, stick with attack percentage. For substats, I aim for around 10 to 25% energy regen depending on your team. This ensures Galbrena always has her Resonance Liberation ready. It's an important part of her rotation because using Liberation first gives her an 85% damage boost before she starts consuming her Forte stacks. After reaching your desired energy regen, focus on crit rate, crit damage, attack percentage, and heavy attack damage in that order. Let's talk about her signature weapon, Lux and Umbra. It gives 48% critical damage and 12% attack, plus a dual effect that adds 24% heavy attack damage after using an echo skill and 24% echo skill damage after using an heavy attack. These buffs are easy to trigger since her rotation naturally includes both attack types. Once both are active, she also ignores 8% of enemy defense, which fits her dual scaling playstyle perfectly. Now, is it worth pulling? Lux and Umbra gives around 29% more total damage than the standard 5-star weapon. If you plan to invest more in her, prioritize her signature weapon before any sequences upgrades since it offers much better value. It's a premium choice that helps Galbrena reach her full potential, so this weapon is absolutely worth pulling. The next best options are Woodland Area, Chacona's signature, and The Last Dance, Carlotta's signature. Both are good if you already own them, but they don't offer a big upgrade compared to the standard 5-star Static Mist. The Static Mist is an amazing option, especially because it's a free 5-star weapon that everyone can get. It has solid base stats, increases energy regen by 12.8%, and gives the switching resonator a 10% attack after using an outro skill. This makes Galbrena's rotation smoother and boosts the team's total damage. For example, if you're running Galbrena, Lupa and Brant, swapping to Lupa after Galbrena will pass that 10% attack buff to her, improving the overall team output. After the 5-star weapon, the best 4-star choice is Solar Flare from the Better Pass. It gives strong heavy attack damage and performs close to Static Mist when fully defined. Static Mist still wins in practicality since it helps Galbrena with some extra energy regen and buffs the next unit, which is especially useful if you rotate between DPS or sub-DPS characters. Other 4-star weapons like Relativistic Jet and Pistol 26 are fine as temporary options early on, but once you get a 5-star weapon, it's better to switch since 4-star weapons fall behind in overall damage. Starting with S1, it adds an extra 80% critical damage while in Demon Hypostasis and gives short immunity during the 3rd and 5th basic attack as she uses her Forte bar. It makes her rotation smoother and helps avoid interruptions. Still, its value is limited unless you have teammates like Chi-Yuan or Cantarella, who can trigger Echo-type abilities to fill the Red Forte stacks. Without them, she'll usually reach only 3 instead of 5 Echo casts, so the impact is smaller. S2 boosts the Burning Drive, the small bar under her Forte circuit that increases her damage while active. With this unlocked, the attack bonus rises to 350%, changing from 20% to 70%. It's a big personal damage boost and keeps her rotation strong. S3 increases her Resonance Liberation multiplier by 130%, adding another clear jump in her damage output. S4 grants the team a 20% damage buff whenever any unit uses an Echo skill. It doesn't raise her personal damage much, but it helps the team deal more overall. S5 rises the damage of her Resonance skill by 150%. It's a small gain since she doesn't rely on this skill often. This upgrade mostly exists to unlock S6. S6 turns Demon Hypostasis into Eternal Hypostasis, adding a 60% damage multiplier and up to 35% fusion damage based on the Afterflame stacks used. It gives her the biggest overall power increase and makes her one of the strongest fusion units. Overall, S1 improves her comfort and makes her rotation smoother, but it's not very strong without Echo support teammates. If you want to invest more, focus on S2 or S3 since both bring real power increases in her kit. S2 is the first major jump in her strength, while S3 adds another clear boost to her damage. For players looking to upgrade her without overspending, S3 is the best point to stop, as it gives the most noticeable return on investment. That said, she already performs well at S0, and her sequences nodes are mainly for players who want to push her further as the main DPS. Let's start with the free-to-play and heavy attack options since they are the easiest for the most players to build. The best setup is Galbrena, Mortefi and Shorekeeper or Verina. Mortefi is the key unit here because he provides several useful buffs. Moonlit Clouds boost attack damage, his Ultra skill increases heavy attack damage, and his S6 adds even more power. He also pairs well with the free 5-star weapon Static Mist, which gives an attack buff to the next unit after his outro. Together, these buffs makes Mortefi one of the best supports for Galbrena. At the moment, there aren't any 4-star units that can directly buff Echo skill damage or cast Echo type abilities to fill her Red Forte bar. If you have limited units, you can replace the healer with Lupa for stronger fusion buffs. Other option is swapping Mortefi for Frolova or Yuno and pairing them with any healers you have. Moving on to the teams built around Echo skill damage and casting, these focus on helping Galbrena fill her Red Forte bar faster while boosting her Echo skill damage. There are two strong setups here, especially with Chi-Yuan coming. The first is Galbrena, Chi-Yuan and Frolova. This team has no healer, so you'll need to dodge attacks carefully, but it deals a lot of damage. Chi-Yuan benefits from Frolova's heavy attack outro buff and gives up to 30% critical damage and 66 Echo skill damage to the team through his kit, weapon and Echo set. His outro also adds another 50% Echo skill damage for Galbrena, giving her a big boost. Frolova hits hard while she's on the field and continues dealing damage off-field with her coordinated attacks. Another Echo skill team option is Galbrena as main DPS, Chi-Yuan as sub DPS, and any healer. It's easier to use while still very strong. If you don't plan to pull Chi-Yuan, you can run Galbrena, Frolova and Cantarella. Cantarella heals and supports, while Frolova buffs Galbrena's heavy attack damage through her outro. You can also replace Frolova with Chanli, as Chanli benefits from Cantarella's Resonance skill outro buff and provides Galbrena with a fusion damage buff in return. For monofusion teams, the best lineup is Galbrena, Brant, and Lupa. Lupa buffs the whole team, and Brant takes advantage of Lupa's outro while healing, shielding, and slightly increasing Galbrena's fusion damage. At high investment, Brant performs best, but Mortefi can outperform him at lower levels thanks to his buffs. Another monofusion option is Galbrena, Chun-Li, and Lupa. This works well if you already have them built. For a cheaper setup, you can replace Chun-Li with Encore or Chixia, but the team will lack healing and both deal less damage even though they are designed as DPS. In that case, it's better to use Mortefi instead, as his consistent buffs from his Echo set and Outro skill help Galbrena deal much more damage compared to the clunky rotation and lower output from Encore and Chixia. Out of all these teams, the most reliable setups are Galbrena and Mortefi for free-to-play players, Galbrena with Chi-1 for Echo skill damage, and Brant or Mortefi with Lupa for monofusion teams. These lineups give a solid balance of support, healing, and damage. Galbrena is one of the strongest and most complete fusion DPS units right now. Her dual scaling between heavy attack and echo skill damage makes her flexible, reliable, and easy to fit into many team types. She performs best when you can maintain high echo skill uptime, especially in teams that help her fill her red forte bar quickly. Her signature weapon, Lux and Umbra, is absolutely worth pulling if you plan to use her long term. It gives her a clear 29% damage increase over the standard 5-star weapon and fully unlocks her dual scaling potential. The weapon bonuses are easy to activate and fit perfectly with her natural rotation. When it comes to her sequences, Galbrena is already strong at S0. If you plan to invest more, S2 and S3 brings the most noticeable upgrades. S1 adds smoother rotations and small comfort changes, while S6 provides her final major boost for players who want to maximize every bit of her damage. If you decide to go beyond S0, pairing her with Q1 becomes much more valuable. His Echo skill cast helps her fill her Red Forte bar faster, which directly activates the full damage buff from her kit. Together, they unlock Galbrena's full potential and stand out as one of the strongest Echo-based duos in the game. In short, Galbrena is absolutely worth pulling if you enjoy fast-paced combat and want a DPS who can scale with your rooster. Her weapon is a top investment, her sequences add meaningful growth, and with the right partners, especially Q1, she can fully showcase the potential of a true fusion carry. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful, please consider leaving a like, a comment, or subscribing. It helps me reach my goal and shows that what I'm creating truly connects with you. Your feedback means a lot, and if there's anything you'd like to see added or improved in these guides, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, don't forget to check the pinned comment if you'd like to join the giveaways I'm running each patch. It's my small way of giving something back and saying thank you for being part of this journey. Thanks for being here, for all the support, and until next time, happy gaming.